Hi again, everybody. Welcome back to the Columbus School of Chinese. My name is Donald Newman, and this is Ask a Chinese Teacher. On today's episode, I'm going to be addressing a question from a student who asks, how is duration of time treated in a Chinese sentence? If you remember a few weeks back when we talked about word order for the first time, I said that Mandarin was similar to English in that most of the time it is a subject, verb, object language. Sally walked the dog. I saw him. For the most part, Mandarin is set up in the same way. However, that's kind of where the similarities ended. If you wanted to add some other phrases in the sentence, for example, a location or a time or a with phrase, these who, what, where kind of things, they all had set places in the sentence. They all came actually before the verb. And in English, you can kind of throw these things around. In Chinese, it is a set sentence structure. Today, when we're talking about duration of time, we actually need a whole new category of phrase that goes in a specific place in the sentence, different than what we've talked about from before. But before I get into all of that, if you're enjoying these videos, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel here at the Columbus School of Chinese. We'll be uploading a new one of these videos every week. You can also check out more information about our company and the classes that are available to you at thecolumbusSchoolofChinese.com, and like us on Facebook for more free Mandarin learning resources. Okay, so when we're talking about the difference between a time phrase and a duration phrase, the classic example is the target question that we get to during the beginner levels of our classes here at CSE, which is, how long have you studied Chinese? This is a classic question. You get it asked a lot in taxis. If you're over in China and you're trying to speak Chinese with your taxi driver, they're always very interested in how long you've been studying and how well you've done with such little time, right? So the answer comes back as something like, I've studied Chinese for 3 months or something like that. So where does this 3 months go? Is this a duration phrase or a time phrase? Let's check it out. All right, so here we go. This is the subject, verb, object scaffolding of our sentence here. 我 studied 学了 Chinese, 中文. Here we go. The only thing that we have left is that 3 months. So is this a duration or a time phrase? Of course, we know it is a duration. It is a duration of time. A duration phrase happens to go after the verb. If there is an object stated, it'll go before that. So it'll go in between this 学中文 kind of gets split up, and we put any kind of quantity or duration phrase in here. So now, this is where it might get a little bit confusing for beginners. We're talking about time here, 3 months. So why isn't this being treated as a time phrase? Why is this something different? Why is this called a duration or a quantity phrase? Think about it this way. A time phrase answers the question when. When did something happen? So for example, can you study Chinese for 3 months last year? Did this happen in 2012? That is the when that we answer with a time phrase. Let's take a time phrase, for example. Now we know where this activity took place, where these 3 months took place. This is a stop and an end that took place during this time, right? 我去年学了3个月中文. I, last year, studied 3 months of Chinese. And that's the difference. Now let's take a look at one more example that doesn't deal with a duration, but with a quantity. Again, a duration and a quantity are basically the same thing. Let's talk about apples, all right? I ate 2 apples. So I ate apples are our subject, verb, object. All right, there we go. 我吃了苹果. I ate apples. Now I want to add this to. This is obviously a quantity, right? This has nothing to do with the time phrase. This doesn't answer the question when. that this happened, right? So the quantity obviously goes here between our verb and our object. There we go. 两个 two of something, right? 我吃了2个苹果. I ate 2 apples, right? What if I wanted to ask when this happened? What if I wanted to add a time phrase? This is a lot more straightforward. We can choose any old time phrase. Let's just pick the afternoon, 下午, right? 我下午吃了2个苹果. I, this afternoon, this answers the question when, ate 2 apples. This is a quantity of apples. I, last year, studied 3 months of Chinese. This tells you when the studying happened. This tells you for how long the studying happened. That's our difference. Major difference between our time phrase and our duration / quantity phrase. Okay, so there you have it. Hopefully this helps a lot of those beginner students out there avoid some of the confusion that you might run into when you start learning about these different parts of the sentence. Thank you again to Kyle for sending in the question. If anyone has some other questions you'd like for me to address, feel free to send them in to us, the Columbus School of Chinese. Leave a comment on the YouTube videos. As long as I can see them, I'll be happy to talk about them. So with that, we'll see you guys next time.